Reaper Miniatures is an American manufacturer of pewter and plastic figurines in the 25 to 35 mm scale, which include fantasy and science fiction figures. Reaper, based in Denton, Texas, has developed tabletop miniature game systems that may be played with their figures. The Reaper Miniatures mascot is a succubus named Sophie. History: Reaper Miniatures started in Fort Worth, Texas on July 4, 1992. Initially, 2 lines of miniatures were produced: Distinguished Flying Collectibles and Renaissance Dreams. Reaper moved to Louisville, Texas, in April 1993, and at this location they reactivated several old miniature lines that the company owned and combined them into the Dungeon Dweller 25mm fantasy line. Reaper saw further growth and need for expansion in August 1994, and moved into a 2,500 square foot warehouse in Louisville. Late in 1995, they launched the SCRYE Counter series of collectible card game accessories, and over 500,000 have been sold worldwide. The Dark Heaven 25mm fantasy line was launched in 1996, and is the top-selling fantasy role-playing game miniature line in the world. Reaper has also expanded into the European market through a partnership with a miniatures company in England. In July 1998, Reaper launched the Warlord 25mm fantasy line, Caven Scale Sci-Fi line, Reaper box sets, Reaper Pro paints, and Reaper Masters series paints. January 2004 saw Reaper move once again to a new production facility in Denton, Texas. The company has had 3 Bones Kickstarter campaigns. These have been used to launch and expand their lines of plastic miniatures in a new material. The first ended on August 26, 2012, with participants pledging over $3 million, making it the 3rd highest overall Kickstarter at the time. The second campaign also reached above $3 million, and as of the end of 2013, both were among the 10 highest Kickstarters ever. The third campaign was the shortest, running from July 7 to July 25, 2015. It raised $2.7 million. Reaper also manufactures 2 premium acrylic water-based paint lines designed for painting the miniatures which they manufacture. Community and web presence. Reaper has an online community, from their online forum. Reaper also maintains an on-site research and development facility for their games called The Asylum. The Asylum is open to the public and also serves as a sort of company store, offering not only Reaper products, but a wide area of family board games and various role-playing games. Miniature lines. Current miniature lines as of 2013. Reaper has 5 major lines of miniatures and 2 minor lines. Dark Heaven Legends, primarily suited to fantasy role-players. It contains many of the models helpful for running role-playing campaigns, from models to represent characters and monsters to familiars, weapons and accessories. This line provides the bulk of miniatures, which has now passed 3,000 serial numbers. Warlord, Reaper's highly successful skirmish game. Set in Taltos, 10 factions fight in the provinces for control. Players battle across the world, and then log into the Reaper website to report wins and losses, thus allowing a dynamic, evolving world. Dark Heaven Bones. A wildly successful Kickstarter, Bones takes many of the best miniatures from the Dark Heaven Legends line and casts them in plastic instead. Ready to paint, right out of the package, they are priced significantly less than more traditional metal miniatures. Combat Assault Vehicle. A game similar to BattleTech. Much like Warlord, players battle across the world and post results online as 10 fighting companies battle for dominance over 6 planets. Cav 2 is currently being developed. Legendary Encounters is their new line of non-random pre-painted plastics. The lineup is drawn from existing sculpts in the Dark Heaven line, with some sculpts from the Warlord line expected to show up soon. It was introduced in 2007. Chronoscope. A new line of non-fantasy pewter miniatures in the tradition of Dark Heaven Legends was released in 2008. The initial launch consisted of 8 miniatures including some science fiction pieces and a cowgirl. The line has since expanded to include additional genres, such as superheroes and espionage. The set also includes a handful of models based on historic figures such as Buffalo Bill Cody and classic literary characters such as Sherlock Holmes and Zorro. Reich of the Dead, a line of miniatures dedicated to a game of the same name that is currently in development. The game and miniature line both focus on an alternate World War II in which an alien species called the Croyd possess and reanimate German casualties and battle American GIs. Master Series Miniatures, a line dedicated to larger scale or showpiece miniatures. Of the initial 10 models in the series, 8 have been issued in 54mm scale. Bones, a line of plastic miniatures. This line mostly reproduces miniatures from the other lines but in less expensive, paintable plastic. Previous miniature lines P65 Heavy Metal, a line featuring reissued miniatures from previous Reaper product lines, particularly Dark Heaven Legends, cast in a 60% lead alloy. Production of this line ceased in February 2013. Legend of the Five Rings, another miniature line directed at a specific role-playing setting, the Rokugan setting. This has an Asian flair, with samurai and ninjas for characters and enemies. Reaper's license for L5R expired on October 31, 2005. Exalted. This line of miniatures was made specifically for White Wolf's Exalted RPG. Reaper's license to produce this line expired at the end of 2005, and it is no longer in production. Paint lines. 2 paint lines are produced. Pro Paints, and the Masters series.